All right. Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing? We are live. It's Wednesday. My goodness. It has been a very long time. It's been a while. But I think everybody has been on holiday. Everybody's been having a good time. I don't know whether I can say enjoying the summer. Because like where was summer? I didn't see no summer. Oh yeah. Well, but we are still grateful because we know that obviously, especially being in the UK, it's that's what we expect, isn't it? But I hope that you have had an amazing time with your family over the past few weeks, because we're about to wrap this thing up anyway, and get back to normality. Um, but how have you been? How have you been? Um, I know we haven't met. I think we skipped one session. Um, yeah, I was kind of like out of it, and but yeah, but I'm glad to be back. Hopefully, somebody will jump on here to join me for the conversation. That is my hope. I'm not sure if anybody's available. Let me just see. Otherwise, excuse me. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to have a conversation all by myself. But that's all good. That's all good. Um, yeah, I hope that you been on holiday? Did you take the family anywhere? Just to have a time for just to get away from the usual rush and the usual routine. Because it's always good to do that, isn't it? It's always good to kind of like just try and make an effort. Um, I'm talking to myself right now, anyway. Just to make an effort and just hang out with the kids, because sometimes it can feel like, oh, these guys are bothering me. But no, they are a blessing from the Lord. They are indeed a blessing, and that's the kind of thinking that we always have to put in front of ourselves, because otherwise it's going to be like, oh my goodness, it's work, it's hard work. Like I went to the beach the other day, last week. We went to the beach, and we're kind of like just hanging out, and I was kind of like having a revelation. It's like, my goodness, I can't remember that I ever took a towel, a towel, a beach towel, just kind of like put it out on the sand and just lie there and just worshiping the sun. I've never done that in my whole life. Excuse me. So I was like, what? My goodness, yeah. But one of these days, I believe it shall happen. It shall happen. But yeah, it just came on me like that. It's like, Kendrick, have you ever baked in the sun? Yeah, but I believe it will happen one of these days. But if you are available, please do jump on. It will be good to have you joining me, just so that we can just hang out and just have a conversation. I know it's kind of like what, after 8 o'clock. Everybody's tired, and but we want to keep on doing this hanging out sessions. Why? Because it's needed. It's needed for us to connect on a regular basis, especially as men. And I believe that these sessions are helpful. Even if I have to say, even if I have to be selfish and say that this session has been helping me, for whatever reason. But yeah, it will be good if you are available. It will be much appreciated if you can jump on. Um, but if not, then I'll find something that I can just kind of like flush out here, and hopefully somebody will be blessed. But it's always, two minds, three minds is always better than one, because it is a mastermind session where we kind of like bounce certain thoughts of one another, and just see what new revelation, or what new understanding, or what new perception or perspectives we can find during this conversation. So yeah, that's it. That's it. And but but kind of like the topic that I really want us to talk about today. Um, how do you and I continue to stay productive? because life has the habit of kind of like throwing all kind of things in our way. And sometimes we feel like we don't know whether we are coming or going. But I do believe that productivity is the is the name of the game, because we are after results. We are after seeing some, when you put your hand to something, you want to see some fruit come out, and you don't just want to do things just for the sake of doing it, and not experiencing um, any kind of result. um, so how can you and I continue to be productive? That's what I want us. I wanted somebody to come on here so that we can talk about that, because it's good to have more than one perspective on a specific thing. um, but just to kind of like share a couple of thoughts while somebody's considering to come on. um, I believe to be productive is going to have a lot to do with the mindset. We have to be we because when we decide to go on a specific journey, regardless of what it is, whether it is growing your business, whether it is spending more time with your family, whether it is working on your career or building some relationships, I believe that sometimes what happens is we start all of those things with great enthusiasm. It's like, this is what I'm going to do for the next year, for the next 6 months. I'm going to be productive in this specific area. I'm going to grow in this specific area. I'm going to go after seeing results in this specific area. You choose which area that is for you. My goodness, and we start off with great enthusiasm, uh, and we kind of like go, and you keep on doing what needs to be done. But then suddenly, we hit a barrier, and it kind of like feel like, all right, I've kind of like reached the end of my of the rope, and I don't know. I've done everything I know I can do, but what's next? What's next? Um, and we kind of like run out of energy. We run out of ideas. We run out of, you just get tired. It's like, no, I think I did not hear the Lord. I didn't hear the Lord properly. Maybe He did not tell me to go and improve or become more productive in a specific area, and we kind of like we give up and we cave in. So I do believe when we start off, um, if you want to be productive in a specific area, it's um, we have to be in a mindset where you and I understand that, listen here, I am going to run into some difficulties. Yeah, I am going to reach a place where I feel like I don't want to do this anymore, because it is not it's not the enthusiasm, it is not the excitement, it is not the um, the adrenaline that is going to keep us going. Um, but discipline is one of the one of the key factors that will help us um, to keep going in that specific area. And I know kind of like we spoke about this before, and we kind of like mentioned it in our previous conversations. Um, but discipline can be a hard thing, because for one person, let's talk about that for just for a second. It's because sometimes we can get to a place where, for me to be disciplined in one specific area might be easy, because there's some passion that goes with that. There's um, I enjoy what I'm doing. um, I have the necessary support, and I have a reason to do what I have a big enough why, so I keep on going, and but now if I'm telling you that, all right, in this specific area, I'm really disciplined in this specific area. And then you kind of like look at me, Kendrick, how do you do that? And then I'm asking you, all right, what are you, because there will be area that you are very much disciplined in. And why is that? Because what is maybe easy for me is a little bit harder for you, and what is hard for you is easy for me. um, so how do we actually get that right? Because we know that we can't just run on excitement, because every morning you gotta get up and you gotta do what needs to be done. And um, but but if there's a lack of discipline, then we find ourselves, we can't continue on that specific journey. We can't. And then we kind of like have a lot of projects. Like you have a lot of projects that you started since 1972. And I haven't finished any of those projects. Why is that? Because and that kind of behavior becomes a habit. I start something, um 3 months down the line, what happened? No, don't worry about that project. That project, it kind of like it was just, and then I moved on to the next one. And then kind of like go on to the next one. It's like, all right, they run that one for another few months, and it's like, all right, let's move on. But how do you and I, how can we stay consistent? How can we continually be productive in a specific area? Um, and I believe that, um, you see, that's why I needed you guys to come on, because we need to bounce a few thoughts of that. But this is just my thinking. Obviously, you might have a different thinking on it. But I believe that what we do every day is key. What you and I decide to get into on a daily basis is what is going to help us. So the question that you and I have to ask ourselves is, yes, I have the big picture. Yes, I understand what it is that I'm after. Yes, I know that I'm determined to make it happen. But now I see this big chunk of a goal in front of me, but I don't know how to devour that elephant, because it looks so big. Excuse me. It just looks so huge, and it's like I'm asking myself, how am I going to reach this goal? How am I going to uh, because remember now, I'm kind of like bringing it from a point of view of being productive. Okay. um, but productivity, it refers to you and I producing results. It talks about, I think it refers to us not just kind of like hitting in the dark, but every little thing that we do. Because just be honest, the thing that really motivates us, or oh, let me talk for myself. I don't know what motivates you, but the thing that kind of like motivates me is like when I see results. If I like, whoa, my goodness, look at this, Kendrick, look at you, boy, look what you've done. And it kind of like push you to go to the next level. It kind of like push you, it motivates you to keep on going. But if you keep on doing something and it's almost like you feel like you're hitting a wall, you're not seeing any result, that's very demotivating, isn't it? It's kind of like it, it feels like I'm just wasting my time. Why am I actually keep why do I even keep on doing this? Why am I keep on doing that? But if I see results, my goodness, my attitude is in another level. My my priorities. Actually, let's look at that, because um, bringing it down to, yes, this is the big major goal, the thing that I'm after. So the question is, how do I continue to be productive so that I can reach my main goal? Yeah. This would have been a brilliant conversation if some of you guys were on. Yeah, I can already see all the input that you would have given. Yeah, how do we stay productive when we feel like we can't go on anymore, when we feel like we have grown tired, we don't have the help, or we feel like I'm all by myself, or I feel like nobody is doing. How do you continue to do that? Because um, All right, let me stop asking that question and just run down a couple of things here. So I believe it's like you got to pay attention to your daily agenda. Ask yourself, how am I spending my day? How am I spending my time every single day? If I know my, do I break this thing up into daily goals, into weekly goals, into monthly, and for the 6 months, and for the next, or the next 3 months, 6 months. If I know I want to reach something within the next 12 months, I believe that's very important, because if I just see this whole chunk of a goal in front of myself, and it will kind of like overwhelm us. It will feel like it's too much. Yeah. Um, Now, so which means you and I, there's a couple of things that you and I will have to do. We have to have the right attitude towards, on a daily basis. You have to make sure that you and I have, we have to have the right attitude, because if our attitude on a daily basis is not right, because maybe somebody will show up to help you, but now because you have a wrong attitude and you feel like everybody just hates you, everybody's just against you. But if you're always making sure, regardless of how hard it is, make sure you approach the day with a great attitude, it will help. It will help. Yeah. And I have to determine to act on important priorities. Make sure the things that you are doing today, they are actually priorities. They are things that needs to be done. I must say that's an area that I really need to kind of like stay on top of, because sometimes when you got so much going on, you can kind of like get distracted very easily, because maybe you have the kids, you have the wife, you have the business, you have the studies, you got all of these different things that maybe your involvement in the community, your involvement at church, you got all of these things going on. But do you ever take time to pull yourself back and say, all right, what is priority today? What needs to be done today, regardless of, or at least my first top 10 priorities? I don't care what happens, these 10 things needs to be done today. And that's kind of a thing that I still need to kind of like sharpen, because um, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. Maybe for yourself, it's you've got it mastered, and if you've mastered it, so well done, well done, because the man that can stay consistently on top of his priorities will see results. If you can stay in your, you will see results. Why? Because it's not the one big thing that you do every day, but it is the small little things that you chop on every single day. Every single day, you just keep on doing it, keep on doing it. Those are the things that will start showing you and me results. Um, the other thing is, you and I, we need to have good thinking. Don't underestimate good thinking. What do I mean by that? Do you ever take the time to sit down and just to think? I know, when it comes to the Christian community, in terms of certain terms, if I say meditation, you start to demonize meditation. It's good to meditate. The Bible says meditate on the word. What does that mean? Ponder. You have to think on certain things, run it through your head, and kind of like think, because don't let certain things just go through your mind, but think on it, because it's what we are focusing on that will grow in our life. If I say, all right, I don't care what happens this year I'm going to become financially independent. If that's something that you meditate on a daily basis, you will start seeing some results. Why is it? Because you develop good thinking. So, because remember, you and I, we don't see with our eyes, we see with our mind. let me explain why I say that. Most probably you know already, but uh, you and I can look at exactly the same thing, but we might not see the same thing. Why? Is because it has got to do with your way of thinking. Um, if I look at this screen here in front of me, I'll just see a screen. If you look at the screen, my goodness, you see a business opportunity or you see something that I can't see. Why? Is because of your way of thinking. That's why we need to invest in even if you take 15 minutes a day, but you and I have to make sure that we don't just kind of like just go through a day without engaging ourselves in productive thinking. Develop a habit of taking out the time to think, because it is what we are thinking on that will become a reality within our lives. Yeah, but even the Bible says that uh, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed. So how be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you and I may be able to prove what is that good and what is that acceptable in that perfect will of God. Yeah. So when we take out the time to think on certain things, don't think on the things of the world, but think on things according to the Word of God. And if we do that, it, it, we are at a place where we can transform our lives. We can create a new reality, because maybe right now you think that you are stuck. You are not stuck. You are not stuck. We never stuck, because um if you can think, you and I can think our way out. Wherever you are right now, you can think your way out of it. I know maybe we kind of like get lazy and we will say like, the Lord will help me to get out of here. No, He already gave you the tools to get out of whatever situation that you are in. I hope that my volume and everything is fine. Let me just have a quick look. And I hope that this is helping somebody, because um, I, I am really. I mean, right now we are at a place where we are going to intensify our presence on this community. We are gonna come, instead of coming on only once every 2 weeks. No, we're gonna come on here every week now. I know, kind of like sometimes I'm holding back, like Kendrick. Don't say it, just do it. Because sometimes when you commit yourself to something and kind of like it feels like, this is actually more than a bit of more than I can chew. But yeah, just step out. If it's not working out, say, guys, listen here, that that was not meant to be. Let's just go a little bit back and kind of like go. No, we can make it. We can make it happen. Because I believe that there are some of you that, no, not some, all of you are on here. You carry great potential. You carry great. You've got a gift. We always talk about this. We always kind of like remind you of the fact that, listen here, it's possible for you to come on here and share that gift of yourself. Share to all the guys on here. Why is that? Because we need that gift. We need those words that you carry on the inside of you. We need them. We need those words, because we are here to sharpen one another. We are here to encourage one another. Um, and maybe you feel like, you don't have anything to give. Well, if you feel like you don't have anything to give, maybe it's time to just invest in yourself. Just invest in yourself. Take the time to um, put something in there and become good in a specific area. Become a master something. Um, because don't just be general, kind of like you can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Um, if people Okay, I'm kind of like, what I'm talking about now is, if you feel like you haven't got anything to give, is because you haven't made a decision to master something specific. Um, Maybe, the jack of all trades. No, we've got to be a master of something, so that, because whatever it is that you focus on, you become great in it. You become so good in it that we would want to hear from you. We will chase you down. Come and talk to us about investments. Come and talk to us about how to build a great family. Come and talk to us how to uh, operate in our finances, how to buy some Bitcoin. Listen here, gentlemen. We are here to support and help each other. It can't be done by one person. There's something that I've learned over the past few weeks. Somebody mentioned that we are created um, to what's the word I'm looking for? Um, we ourselves, we are creators. Yeah, because remember that we are made in the image of God. Yeah, so you are a creator, and the thing is, but the key is, you don't create things for yourself. We are basically co-creators. What does that mean? A co-creator is when we build something that will benefit many. It will benefit many people. It will benefit the community. It will benefit a specific group or of people. And that's the kind of thing and that's the kind of thinking that you and I need to have, especially when it comes to us wanting to be productive. Maybe the reason why we are not as productive as we should be is because everything that we do is based on selfishness. Everything that we do, maybe, okay, I want to be kind of like, I don't want to sound harsh. I hope I don't sound harsh. But the thing that you and I get into, or whatever it is that you do, it needs to go beyond you. It should not be about just you and your family, and about your dog, your cat, and your goldfish. No, it should, uh, and that's kind of like the idea behind this mastermind, is because so that we can better one another. um and when this guy mentioned this, it's like, yeah, exactly. And this guy is not even a Christian, to be honest. He's just somebody that has a great mind and is gifted. um because when you build something that will benefit everyone that are interested in that specific thing that you are building, uh, even when you're dead and gone, excuse me, even when you're dead and gone, you have left something behind that is not just a blessing to your family, but it's a blessing to your community, and it's a blessing to the for generations to come. Excuse me. And that's the kind of thinking that you and I should develop. um, that's the kind of thinking we should develop, not because we want to build a name for ourselves, not because we don't know what to do with our lives. We don't know. No, it's because you know that humanity needs you. Humanity needs me. And that's why, if we get to a place where we can understand that, listen here, I have to learn how to be productive. I'm gonna sound like I may be contradicting myself right now, but I'll explain to you why I say what I'm saying. The the main objective is not even productivity. Why do I say that? The main objective is what you will become while you are productive. Because there are certain things that you and I have to grow into. And the only way that we will grow into it will not because we've read a book. It's not because we kind of like, listen to a tape or tape. Oh my goodness, I'm kind of like going back to No, or you listen to the YouTube or what. No, it's when you take what you know and you uh, become productive with that and try to grow it to a place so that it can benefit those around you. But because you are taking what is a seed and you want to grow it to benefit everybody else, there's gonna be some kind of resistance. Why? Because now you're pushing to the next level, and which means pushing to the next level, you're gonna have to learn certain things. You have to come up with a new kind of a skill, or there are certain things that you will have to tap into. There's a certain kind of a person you and I have to become to be able to see certain results. That's the reason why we have to go after productivity. It's not to obtain stuff. Things come and go. Things are like, material stuff. You kind of, you like, want to go after a car. You can get a car if you want. I mean, being in the here in the UK especially, I know some of the guys. Not everyone in here they live in the UK, but let's talk about being in the UK. My goodness, you can drive any car you want. You absolutely can. I mean, you can. Uh, Let me put it like this: somebody can clean houses and they can drive a Mercedes Benz, but for example, you can't do that in Africa. It's like, no. What you mean? You did you do that? Then you drive? No. So it's not like it's not about getting stuff. Stuff you can easily get it, but it's what you and I need to become, so that when you and I become a specific kind of a person, man, we will be a blessing to humanity. You'll be a blessing to people around you because you will have something to give. So I'm talking to you that say that I've got nothing to give. That's why I don't bother to come on here. That's why. No, come. Come. We will sharpen one another. Just continue to invest in yourself. I'll continue to invest in myself. You continue to invest in yourself, and we become better together. Because that's the key. I don't know whether I'm just rattling on, guys, but I'm like really feeling that we can't just like go through life like we've got nothing to do or nothing to accomplish or nothing to contribute. Kind of like you just stroll and it's like, life is a stroll in the park. Like life is a stroll in the park. No, 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 no. We have to continue to give our best. And sometimes we feel like our best is not good enough, but that's fine. Even if you feel your best is not good enough, but whatever it is that you have to give, just kind of like give it all. Give it all. And sometimes it can feel like it is a challenge, but it's meant to be a challenge because whenever anything feels like it's hard, whenever anything feels like it's hard or you can't go further, that's when you and I need to push. Can I tell you the truth? I didn't want to come on here today. I'm being honest, being not on here for what? A good 4 weeks, if not more. Do I really need to do it? But I know that's the time that you have to push. I even and it's like when you don't feel like doing it. I even was running late, about 10 minutes late, because then the technology starts to play up. I say, maybe it's not meant for me to be on here today. No, don't lie, boy. Make a plan. I just needed to change the HDMI cable and I was up and running. But whatever resistance that you're experiencing right now, push through it. Push through it. Um, uh, because sometimes it will require maybe just one more sale. It will require just one more presentation. It will require just one more smile, one more act of kindness, just one more time to go. But you feel like, I've been doing it for the past 10 years. What you mean one more time? What am I saying? Part of productivity is don't give up. um and especially whilst you don't feel like doing it. Yeah, that's why I was saying to you guys, I didn't even feel like coming on here, man. I was like, I think it was Clinton. I was saying, um, maybe we just, I think I mentioned it to Clinton. Yeah, I was like saying, maybe we just kind of like, just skip today, and then um and like, we start properly next week, because the idea obviously is to go every week. So it would have been kind of like a good excuse, isn't it? No, don't worry, guys, we'll go every single week. We'll be like boom, boom, boom. So I know there's no need to, can go on there today. And I hope what I'm sharing with you right now is blessing you. You know why? Because uh it's almost like, when you it's easy to do something when you feel like doing it. If you feel like running, it's easy to go and run because you feel like it. But when you do something when you don't feel like it, you broke through a barrier. You broke through a barrier, because we should be people that don't do things based on how we feel. Because you see, the trick about feeling is feelings change all the time. And if I only do things because I feel like doing it, I'm gonna live a life of very little results, because today I'm feeling to be on here. Tomorrow I don't feel like it. So which means you're gonna today you're on, tomorrow you're not on, today you're doing, no, it's like, forget, this guy is not serious. Yeah, but if we do stuff regardless whether we feel like it, that's when we start to see some results. You know what? I really felt today like having a conversation, and obviously nobody's on here, because this topic, it is something that you can draw so much from others. Because productivity for me, um, is one thing, but how do you measure productivity, isn't it? How do you measure productivity? Because um, do you measure productivity based on, I feel like today was a productive day because I can feel it, you know. I can feel it on the inside of myself. I feel like today was brilliant. Maybe for the next person, is like, you know what? Because I've managed to go through my list, I've said I'm going to do these 10 things. So that is now productivity for me. Maybe for the next person is, all right, I managed to hang out with my family, or I managed to do a good deed. Maybe for that person, maybe that is now, it's like, that's productivity for me. So it's always kind of like good to know, have the kind of like a different perspective on productivity. So that's why I'm saying that, if anybody was on here, we would have had a great conversation. Yeah. Because I believe when we are productive, um, because we are, remember I was saying earlier, it's not even about being productive as in wanting to accomplish things and reach a goal, or obtain something specific. But the question, the real um, power, or the real value of productivity, is who you will become, the person that you will become, because of the different projects, because of the different things that you get in the different challenges that you take on. It will turn you into a specific kind of a person. Because remember now, a lot of life has got to do with opportunities. And when we are productive, and when we kind of like take a day on wanting to, do what needs to be done, it's a season of preparation. Yeah. because when opportunities come for you and I, when when the opportunity come to prepare, then it's going to be too late. So which means if you and I are not productive right today on a day-to-day basis, what we are failing to do is we are failing to prepare. And when the opportunity shows up, I say, hey, here's the opportunity. Come on. I was waiting and I was praying, Shanda Rebobobo. I was praying for this opportunity. So then it shows up and I'm not ready. And then I look like a fool, you know, um, because I thought all I gotta do, let me just wait for this opportunity, and when it shows up, I'll be ready. No, 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 no. We don't passively sit down and wait for an opportunity. While you are waiting, you gotta be productive. You gotta be doing stuff. I mean, you know what? I will even go as far as saying just do whatever. Just don't sit down and just kind of like chilling, you know. I'm telling you, just put your hand to something. Put your hand to something. And somebody who was telling me this, someone was mentioning to me the other day was, you know what? Oh yeah, one of the guys at church was saying to me, you know that God never uh, um, um, created us to worship. You know, you always hear that kind of thing that God has created us to worship Him, and the guy was saying, no, He created us to work. Yes, He created us to work. He created us to put our hands, because I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's a great. You know me. I'm kind of like very open minded. Me, it's like if somebody come and drop a new idea, a new thought, it's like, yeah, come and talk to tell me more. Tell me more. That's a different kind of perspective. You know, yeah. Let's hear what does that mean. You know, and he kind of like went into the book of Genesis and was talking about, you know, the first thing that God did, he put the garden and he put man. He didn't say worship me. He said go and put your hand to the ground and you know, do stuff there in the garden. He didn't say come and worship me. Because you and I putting our hands to something that needs to be done, that in itself is worship. And kind of like, yeah, I was having a conversation with Clinton earlier. He was saying like uh, uh, that great insight, Clinton. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. You know, where sometimes God has already given us what we need, and we kind of like go and we pray about certain things, but He said, "No, I've already given it to you. Just take what I've." And then you kind of like go back and you pray again in the rabbi. Okay, but I don't have anything against prayer, but what I'm saying is sometimes the thing that you and I need is already there. You and I just need to become more productive. You and I just need to say, all right, this is what I have in my hand. What can I do with it? Even if it's just, you know what, today in today's world you can sell anything. Anything you can say. I mean, you just go there online and you just put something on there. Somebody is going to be interested in the thing we just got to put our hands to something, and we just need to be productive and kind of like just make it happen. Just make it happen. Well, guys, I don't know whether whatever I shared on here, whether it made sense. That's why I don't like to be on here by myself. I'm feeling so lonely. But hopefully there's somebody on here that is just kind of like just being hanging in there. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm not sure who it is. I think if you give me a thumbs up, your name might pop up here. But I really appreciate your presence, sir. I really much appreciate. I'm like, yeah, somebody's listening and somebody's been hanging in there. I'm so grateful. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like what I wanted to share today. Just just you know what productivity looks like, and if you currently are not productive, make a plan to become productive, and be intentional about it. That's my favorite word, intentionality. Yeah, just be intentional about it. And I think if you have that kind of a mindset, listen here, I might not know exactly what it is I'm after right now, but let me see what is in my house. Let me see what is in my hand. Let's see what's in my bank account. Let's see what is available to me. Let me see who, who is in my circle of friends that can help me to kind of like become a little bit more clear on what it is that I need to do or want to do. You know, whatever it is for you. It's important because sometimes we just dig around in our own head, and it's empty. There's nothing in there. Um, but when you are surrounded by great people, people that provoke your thinking, I just love that. I'm I've become a bit more involved in the community right here in Northampton. My goodness, and the kind of people that you meet is just amazing. The kind of opportunities that's out there is just amazing, and sometimes because we are very uh, you kind of like one track mind. It's just like you don't think outside the box. That's a bit of a cliche. uh, it's like you are very comfortable in your immediate circles. Yeah, you don't push the boundaries to meet new people. You don't push the boundaries to uh, meet people that don't believe what you believe, man. Go out. You only want to meet with people that worship the Lord? No, go. Okay, I'm messing some of your thinking up now, isn't it? But there are great people out there, that that they do amazing things. They are so active in the community, and if you can kind of like remember, we are talking about being productive, and being productive. Don't just think about me working on my little project here, little. No, productivity. Spread your wings, man. Spread it, spread it, spread it. What I mean by that, get out into the community and find out who can you help, who can you, and without any what's the word now, uh you're not having any kind of a selfish motive behind it. You just want to help. Let me see who can I help to bring up a little bit higher. Don't just kind of like, oh, my little project here, I need to build this, I need to build. No, go out there, meet new people, people that can help you to think different, people that can challenge your way of thinking. uh, and I'm telling you, it will add to you. It will add to you. All right, gentlemen. My goodness, the time just went just like that. Listen here, I hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for those who are listening to this afterwards. It is much appreciated. We are at the top of the hour, because I started a little bit late, so it's less than an hour, the session itself. But I'm not going to stay on any longer. It was great to be on here. I hope it was helpful. And you know what? Have an amazing week. And guess what? We'll see you guys next week again, because we are on here now every single Wednesday. All right? Have a great one. See you guys soon. Bye bye now.